Hey learners, welcome back. In the video series on the chapter Analysis of Financial Statements, today we are going to discuss the remaining points of importance, or you can say the significance of financial statement analysis. 5 points we have already discussed in our last video. The remaining points we shall be discussing today. In case you have missed that video, do check it before. I shall put the link in the description box. And for now, let us continue with the remaining points. Significance for employees. Now, analysis of financial statements, they help the employees also in knowing the profitability of the business in which they are working. As they are working, even they want to know that how much bonus they can expect or how much increase in their salary or wages they can expect. Okay, so for knowing these things, they should have a knowledge about the profitability of the business. And who will help them in knowing the profitability? The analysis of financial statements help them in determining the profitability of the business enterprise. Clear? They help them to know how much bonus they would get, how much increase in the wages is there possible from the profits of the company. Added to that, the analysis of financial statements also help the trade unions in negotiating the wage agreements. Clear? Very simple about the significance for employees. Next, what we have with us is the seventh type of party, that is significance for the stock exchange authorities. Now, what are stock exchange authorities? Have you heard about the NSE, BSE? NSE, BSE means the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. What are those? Those are the stock exchange authorities where the people trade their securities. They trade their shares and everything. So, why is analysis of financial statement a significant thing for stock exchange authority? Let's read. The Stock Exchange Authority analyzes the financial statement of the company to determine the price-earning ratio and earning per share. Now, with the help of such analysis, the market price of the company is shared. Now, let us understand that what is price-earning ratio. But before that, let us understand what is earning per share. So in simple language, if I say you what is EPS? EPS is the portion of the company's profit that is allocated to each share of the company. Understood? Suppose for example, the company is having a total profit of about 50,000 and the number of share it is 10,000. So how much profit is received by each share? That is 50,000 divided by 10,000, rupees 5. So rupees 5 over here will be the earning per share. Clear to you? I repeat, what is EPS? EPS is the portion of profit that is allocated to one individual share of the company. Clear? Higher the EPS, generally it is better for the profitability of the company. So always remember, the more EPS you have, the more better is the profitability of your company. I hope EPS would be clear to you. Now, with the help of EPS, we will be understanding the price earning ratio. So what is price earning ratio? Price earning ratio is also called as the PE ratio. P for price, E for earnings. PE ratio. And it is a ratio of the company's share price to the company's earning per share. Now let us understand this with the help of an example. The formula of PE ratio is actually market price per share, that is MPS, market price per share, divided by EPS. So just now in our example we have calculated what was my EPS. My EPS came to be rupees 5. And for example, take the market price of the share in which I want to deal is rupees 50. So market price is 50. EPS I calculated as 5. What it is coming? It is coming 10. Now this 10 is nothing but my PE ratio. PE ratio means the price earning ratio. That means in order to have an earning of this 5 rupees, I am ready to pay 10 times of the money, that is 50 rupees. I hope you understood the interpretation of these 10, what I got over here. What is this 10? Simply I told you that PE ratio is what? PE ratio is market price per share divided by earning per share, and whatever we get, that is my price earning ratio. So over here I took 50 as my MPS, I took 5 as my EPS, and when I divided I got 10. But what is this meaning of 10? It means that in order to have an earning of how much? Earning of this rupees 5, I am ready to pay 10 times of that particular amount. 10 times of my earning. So what is my earning over here? 5. So in order to get 5 rupees earning from a particular share, I am ready to pay 10 times of that amount just in order to get this share. It means that in order to have a particular earning from a particular share, how much amount am I ready to pay? So if I talk about this example, it means that for having an earning of this rupees 5 is actually my earning per share. So to have an earning of rupees 5 from this particular share, I am ready to pay 10 times of that amount. That means 10 times of rupees 5 is rupees 50. I am ready to pay rupees 50 in order to purchase this share, and when I purchase this share, I get an earning of rupees 5. Clear to you? In other words, if I can say that in order to earn an earning of rupees X, a particular investor is ready to invest 10 times the X, that is 10x, into a particular company. So the investor is investing 10x into the company and he is getting an earning of rupees X at last. In simple language, this is all the meaning about PE ratio. So that was about it. Now let's come to the main topic of discussion, that is significance for the stock exchange authorities. So the stock exchanges authority, they calculate this price earning ratio, they calculate the earning per share. Okay. Next, what we have is the 8th type of party, that is the taxation authorities. That means these financial statement analysis, they are also important for the taxation authorities. It is important for the taxation authorities. Why? Because these taxation authorities, they actually check whether the financial statements that the companies have prepared, are they actually prepared taking the legal provisions into consideration, taking the legal rules and regulations into consideration or not. That means they check whether legally every tax aspect has been applied by the company during the preparation of their financial statements or not. They check whether properly tax has been deducted, properly the assessment of GST has been done or not. Correct? So to know this, they actually analyze the financial statements and they be satisfied after that. Clear? The 9th type of party that we have is the significance for researchers. Now, analysis of financial statements of a company is of much importance to a researcher who is conducting research in respect of profitability, efficiency, financial soundness, and growth prospect of that particular company. So if there is an independent researcher who is wanting to research about the profitability, about the liquidity, about the growth prospect of that particular company, so he needs to have the source of data. And how will he receive that source of data? It is through the analysis of financial statements. When he gets through them, he gets a proper base to perform his research. Simple. And the last what we have in hand is significance for other parties. Now there may be some other parties who are also interested in the financial statements of the companies. They may be economists, they may be trade associations, they may be consumer organizations. Clear? So more or less these were the 10 different parties, or you can say the 10 different type of users who have some kind of interest in the analysis of financial statements based on their own utility. They may be investors, they may be researchers, they may be financial institutions, so and so on. So based on each category we have discussed each of them. So I hope today's topic would be clear to you. I shall meet you